Welcome to Chunk Rebirth, my supreme one chunk Iron Man. I have a lot of plans for this account in the future, and we are stuck to these two chunks with a hope of completing every skilling and collection log task within them, and hopefully rolling our way out of here to grand new pastures. Follow me along this journey as I complete ridiculous skilling goals, conquer tedious grind after tedious grind, and unlock some of the most powerful gear in all of RuneScape. This is Chunk Rebirth, a supreme one chunk journey. Okay, so my current mission, if I choose to accept it, is to run puro all the way till we get Earth Implings. The Earth Impling gives us access to our next best pickaxe, which will be a jump from steel all the way to mithril, which is huge. So I'm really hoping that this doesn't take too long. But from there, I have to make a decision whether or not I want to keep doing puro all the way to lucky Implings, or stop here and then go finish off mining. Honestly, at first I was really leaning towards the idea of stopping after I get the mithril pickaxe and finishing off mining, but when you see how long Baronite takes, it's like maximum 20k an hour, which is not great, not a great speed for a 99 grind. Even though mining is not my 99 grind, smithing is. It's going to take us a lot of mining to get us to the level where we can make adamant and rune, and that's when we can just supply ourselves with impling drops and try to get the rest of all the adamant and rune bars from the implings to fuel the rest of our 99 grind, because we have to make full rune in this chunk. So that is the more difficult and time consuming process. And I was really thinking, yo, I'll get the mithril pickaxe, finish the 99 grind first, and then come do this. But honestly, I need a bunch of runes. I need to complete potentially easy and beginner clues for a chance at an air staff. Every part of me was thinking it was in my best, you know, for my mindset, for my headspace, and to not be overwhelmed by the grind. It would be better to take these grinds in increments. But I think specifically for the puro grind, which is one of our more intensive grinds, it's definitely better for me to just try to knock it out in one sitting. And well, not one sitting, but just spend most of my days going forward knocking out as much of puro as I can, because it is our lowest EXP rate out of all of them if you don't count smithing. And it is the best way for us to gather resources, which after we're done with it already, we've already gotten our 89 for the lucky impling, which I believe is a level. Quote me if I'm wrong, it might be 90. But when we get our lucky implings, a lucky impling can give us a rune pickaxe, which will be very good. It'll speed up the tick rate of our mining, so we'll have essentially a 50% increase in our mining. I thought it didn't matter, but when I looked at the charts, it does, and other people told me it did as well. So I'm gonna say that it's probably better for us to get the rune pickaxe. I mean, we could just coast with the mithril pickaxe, but honestly, then after that, after all of that, it's still gonna be, oh, we have to do the puro grind. So it's probably better for us to just knock up puro, gather as much resources as we can, keep doing it until we are, you know, we get our rune pickaxe, we get the upgrades that we need, and then finish up on the smithing and the mining grind. We are technically done with our quote-unquote mining goal, but even without having to get 99 mining, we do have to get 99 smithing, and it's very likely that we do roll the dwarven mine chunk. We only have 4 chunks to roll, I believe, or 3, and one of them is a 99 mining grind anyway. So the more that we just lock in and knock this stuff out now, the less we have to worry about it in the future, and the less scary the chunks around us are. The biggest and scariest chunk around us has to be either Taverley Dungeon or the Edgeville Monastery chunk. That's another one. 99 prayer, obviously that's going to be a pain in the ass. I was thinking about ways I can get that one done, and honestly our only answer to that chunk is going to be the fishing activity that we have in our chunk, which is the preparing the fish on the table and then offering them up, which is honestly dog shit EXP rates, but at the end of the day, it's all we got. So it might be the the answer to that. Also, this is going to be the answer to that as well, because dragon implings, however they are pretty rare, do have a drop of baby dragon bones and dragon bones, which we can bury for prayer exp, which will be our fastest prayer exp in the chunk. Can you believe that? Burying bones is going to be faster than offering something on the altar for once. I'm starting to get angry, I'm not gonna lie. This shit gonna take forever, bro. Holy moly, 20 exp. Okay, so it's a little bit later. These are my stats so far. 40 hunter, that's good. Now I think now is the best time more than ever to talk about 5, what were they? 5 bioluminescent frogs, right? The 5 bioluminescence frogs quest that I think should be added. First off, right, the quest starts by the pond where you fish the tetras. There's 1 frog there, so you need to find 4 more. And he says, "Oh my god, my brothers, they're lost. They're lost here. I don't know where to find them, and we need to find them before we go back home." Home is deeper in the cave, and you can only access deeper in the cave with the bioluminescent frog. He has a follow button like the goblins, and he takes you to the frog area where you can find the frog cultists in a little area. Okay, so you go around and you do some mining, and as you're doing some mining, you're able to mine like this deposit that breaks off, and boom, one of the frogs is there. Then 2, you're fishing, and as you're fishing, one of the frogs pops up. Boom, okay, you found another frog, right? And when you fish those, you fish them not in the tetra spot, you fish them in the other side, right? So that's 3 already, 3 of the frogs. Then you go and you kill a chaos golem. Boom, you kill a chaos golem. There is the 4th frog. He was crushed under the chaos golem, and then the 5th frog comes, and the 5th frog, he has been tampered with. He's corrupted by Zerosian energy, and the other 4 frogs are like, "Oh, you gotta kill him. He doesn't represent what we love, what we stand for. He's not a frog." And then you gotta beat his ass, and then you beat his ass, and then they're like, "Man, now there's just 4 bioluminescent frogs, glub glub." And then that's quest complete, and then they give you the option to follow them to their city. Now, puro is fun and all, but I do have to get a better weapon for the golem grind. I mean, the black mace, I love it, but it's not gonna do it. So I went and I did a lot of the vault, hopefully unlocking some new stuff. We got a steel mace right there, but that's still not good enough. We got the wizard hat, and pay attention to all the ores that we're getting. Like, by the time we're done with this chunk, honestly, unless we don't get an anvil, I don't think smithing is gonna be an issue at all. We have so many resources. So continuing this, the best possible loot for us to get is from the elaborate boxes. But as you see, I got one from the medium box, and we got an adamant mace, and this is going to be a fantastic weapon for killing these flawed golems. It's a little bit worse than the best weapon we have access to for the golems, but honestly, it's way better than a black one. Wow, that's a sentence. I meant a black mace. Take it easy, guys. But even with this and all the golem bopping, we still did not get our mace piece, and we are upwards of 2,000 kills now. And I kid you not, we did a lot of this. We killed a lot of these golems, and we did get a lot of supplies, but honestly, it just wasn't worth it at the end, so I switched over to the mine golems. The mine golem drop table is way better and definitely has a lot of the resources we will be gathering for the foreseeable future. And on top of that, they do have the best drop for mine runes in our chunks outside of essence implings, and we're going to need a bunch of those to get to our 90 magic grind. However, they're incredibly boring to kill, and oftentimes, especially on free-to-play worlds, it's infested with bots. And it's a little bit annoying because you do have to bank so frequently, because I just can't leave any of this stuff on the floor. I don't know when I'm going to need it. Pairing the fact that you also don't get random events for whatever reason. You don't get random events by the golems. I haven't tried the body golems for a long time, but for sure the mind and the flawed golems, you do not get random events. And I think it's just because they're like programmed too close to a bank, so the game sees it that you're still like in a bank area. For whatever reason, I've done maybe 15 hours of the flawed golems total, and like today, I mean, like this recording, 15 hours of the flawed golems, and you do not get random events. So I do have to do other activities to get random events, but when I looked at the pet chances, it actually turns out that frog spawn is not a viable way to roll the pet. You don't get any rolls of the pet on frog spawn, so that sucks. I get a book, and for the foreseeable future, all books and lamps will be going into Hunter because it's literally like 30 or 40 imps per lamp. Another lamp achieved while I was grinding my range. I was able to make a oak short bow out of the oak tree and the bow string that we get from young and I think baby implings. So that's our range weapon for now, up until we can use the yew longbow that we get from young implings, up until we can get the magic short bow that we can use, that we can make ourselves, up until we get the lucky third age bow from the lucky implings, which I'm completely capping. We will never get that. At this time, I'd like to draw attention to my statarinos. Take a look at this baby girl. 41 hunter, 54, 61 mining. Like we're doing so good. I'm so proud of the progress on this account. And this is a clip from our good old friend Goblin Only Chunk Man. I have not forgotten about him. I'm still playing him. He has lost his membership and times are a little bit hard, so I cannot redo the membership, but I might pick those videos back up eventually. I went back to our friend the Mind Golems and we were finally awarded, look in the chat baby, we were finally awarded the Baronite Mace Guard. We needed that so bad. It's effectively a rune mace and our best weapon in this chunk, especially when we're talking about golems. Now the best weapon we can make in general is a rune scimitar, but I don't even want to think about that. I would like to thank the Adamant Mace for his long contribution to the account, but we are now on Baronite Mace and I no longer want to play with Adamant Mace anymore. At the end of the day ends, guys. If you made it to this part of the video, please leave a fat like and a subscribe. My goal is 500 in the short term, but I'd love to get to 1,000 this year. I appreciate all the support that I do get on my videos, and I intend to upload a little bit more this year, not just 3 or 4 times a year. But now that I have the SDU, I'm not fighting for space, so I should be good.